Abra, cadabra. This magic stick brings you wonder, joy, and stories full of light. But wait, true magic happens when you click that button. Yes, subscribe now to my channel and let the adventure begin.
Beyond the gentle green hills lay a quiet valley, where rivers shimmered like silver and wildflowers swayed in the breeze. In this peaceful place lived Valeria, the only child of her loving parents. Their small house was simple, but it glowed with laughter and warmth. Her father owned a little coffee shop on the edge of the city, where people came not just for the taste of coffee, but for the kindness he served it with. Her mother, graceful and gentle, filled the home with love. In every meal, every folded cloth, every lullaby. Valeria's beauty was not only in her golden brown curls or her bright blue eyes, but in her heart. She was honest, kind, and carried a light that made everyone feel cherished. But happiness can be fragile. One day, her mother fell ill. Medicines filled the shelves. Doctors came and went, but her strength only faded. At last, her gentle smile vanished forever. The house grew silent, and Valeria's laughter disappeared. Hoping to bring comfort back into their lives, her father remarried, but the new woman was nothing like the mother Valeria had lost. Behind her sweet words hid a cold heart, and villagers whispered of her dark magic. While Valeria's father worked in the city, she was forced into endless chores, scrubbing floors, washing clothes, cooking meals. Her small hands grew tired, her spirit heavy. Each night she cried into her pillow, whispering to the stars.
Mama, I miss you. I wish you could hold me again.
One night, as Valeria stood by her window, tears quietly rolling down her cheeks, she gazed at the endless sky, wishing her mother could still hold her. Suddenly, a soft glow shimmered in the darkness. From the stars above, a tiny fairy appeared, dressed in a radiant red gown, her wings sparkling like morning dew. Valeria gasped in wonder, her eyes wide. The fairy floated gently toward her window and whispered,
"Don't be afraid. I am a good fairy."
In that moment, Valeria remembered the bedtime stories her mother once told. Stories of little fairies who came to comfort children in sorrow. With trembling lips, she said,
You're the fairy my mama used to tell me about.
The fairy listened as Valeria poured out her heart. Her mother's passing, the cruelty of her stepmother, and the endless chores that had stolen her childhood. The fairy's gentle eyes softened with care. She reached out and said,
"Share your sorrows with me, little one. I'll be your friend, if you'll let me."
For the first time in months, Valeria smiled through her tears and whispered,
Yes, I want you to be my friend.
As Valeria and the red fairy grew closer, her curiosity grew too. One evening, sitting by the window, she whispered,
Tell me, is fairyland really as beautiful as my mama used to say? She always told me stories of a world filled with light and joy.
The red fairy smiled softly.
Yes, Valeria. It is just as your mother described. Would you like to see it with your own eyes?
Valeria's eyes widened in wonder.
Can I? Really?
The fairy reached out her tiny hand. Hold on tight. And in the blink of an eye, Valeria felt herself lifting off the ground. The night sky opened wide as they soared higher and higher, the stars twinkling around them like old friends. Valeria gasped in delight, her heart racing.
I'm flying. This is all magic.
Moments later, they crossed into a realm beyond imagination. Before her stretched fairyland, a kingdom of breathtaking beauty, bathed in golden light. Crystal rivers shimmered through lush meadows, and flowers bloomed in colors the human world had never seen. Everywhere she looked, fairies fluttered gracefully, their wings sparkling like jewels. Each had a role in keeping the land alive. Some cared for the rivers, keeping the water pure. Some nurtured the flowers, painting the valleys with colors. Others watched over the trees and forests, ensuring balance and harmony. Valeria's eyes shone with awe.
It's real. It's even more beautiful than I imagined.
Abra, cadabra. This magic stick brings you wonder, joy, and stories full of light. But wait, true magic happens when you click that button. Yes, subscribe now to my channel and let the adventure begin.
In that moment, Valeria felt closer to her mother's stories than ever before, as if her mama words had come alive before her eyes. As soon as Valeria set foot in fairyland, dozens of fairies gathered around her, their wings shimmering like tiny rainbows.
Welcome, little one.
They chimed together. Soon the red fairy led her to the heart of fairyland, the Diamond Palace. Its walls sparkled brighter than stars, and inside sat the Queen Fairy, radiant and graceful. Seeing Valeria, she smiled warmly. The Queen asked softly,
My child, how did you come here?
With honesty, Valeria told her story of her mother's love, her cruel stepmother, her sorrow, and how the Red Fairy became her only friend. Listening carefully, the Queen's eyes softened. She embraced Valeria gently, as if she were her own daughter. From her throne, the Queen picked a dazzling diamond and offered it to Valeria.
Take this, little one. It is precious, just like your heart.
But Valeria shook her head.
No, Your Majesty. I don't need treasures. I only want kindness, love, and the smile of my friend.
The Queen Fairy's face glowed with pride.
You are wise beyond your years. Red Fairy has brought us a truly pure soul. From today, Valeria, you are always welcome in Fairyland. Come whenever you wish, and Red Fairy may visit you whenever her heart desires.
Valeria's eyes sparkled with joy. She felt as though she belonged, not just in stories, but in a land of real magic. Hand in hand with her Red Fairy, Valeria soared back through the sky toward Earth, her heart full of hope, her soul shining brighter than ever. From that night onward, the fairy visited her often. She played with Valeria, comforted her, and stood by her side during the endless housework. With a flick of her little magic stick, a warm glow would surround Valeria, filling her with a strange, super energy. Tasks that once took hours were finished in mere minutes. The dishes sparkled, the floors gleamed, and meals were prepared effortlessly. For the first time in a long while, Valeria felt light, as if life had given her back a piece of joy she thought she had lost forever. For days, Valeria's stepmother had been observing her. She couldn't understand how the girl carried heavy burdens of work, yet remained untouched, completing everything with uncanny ease. Even stranger, Valeria seemed happier than ever. Her face glowed with a light no hardship could dim. Suspicion grew in the stepmother's heart. So she began spying on Valeria. One night, as silence wrapped the castle, she crept towards Valeria's room. The door was ajar, and through the narrow crack, she saw something that froze her breath. Valeria was not alone. A tiny red fairy, glowing like a living flame, fluttered about the room. It laughed, danced, and whispered secrets to Valeria, who clapped and smiled like a child set free. The stepmother's eyes widened, not with fear, but with delight. For years she had hungered for such a chance. Her heart carried an old, dark wish to bind a fairy under her control, to drain its power and weave it into her black magic. Now, destiny had delivered one to her doorstep. Stepping into the room, her presence darkened the air. With a twisted smile, she raised her hands, whispering incantations that oozed like poison. The fairy's glow flickered, then trembled. Before Valeria could react, a surge of black energy spiraled through the air, and in a flash, the laughing fairy was gone. In its place, a glass jar shimmered in the stepmother's hands, and inside it, the fairy beat helpless wings against invisible walls, its glow dimming in terror. Valeria, gasping, stumbling forward.
No, what have you done? Please let her go. She's innocent.
Tears streamed down her face, her voice cracking under the weight of despair. She reached out, begging, but her stepmother only held the jar closer to her chest, her smile cruel and sharp.
Foolish girl, Do you think I couldn't see? I know now what gave you strength, what made you smile. This creature's power belongs to me, and I will never release her.
Valeria fell to her knees, sobbing, but her cries went unanswered. The stepmother turned and strode away, carrying the imprisoned fairy like a trophy. Down into the castle's depths she went, until at last she vanished into her secret dark chamber, where shadows reign and where no plea could reach. The door slammed shut. The fairy's muffled cries faded into the dark. Valeria sat beneath an old tree, her heart restless. She whispered to herself,
How do I save her? Where do I go? She gave me happiness. Now I must help her.
Just then, an old lady passed by, clutching a small pouch filled with gold coins. Without noticing, one coin slipped to the ground. Valeria saw it, picked it up, and quickly ran after her.
Ma'am, you dropped this.
She said softly, holding out the coin. The woman turned, her eyes kind but sharp, and a smile spread across her face.
Ah, child, you returned it. That was a test. I knew you would come.
Valeria blinked in surprise.
A test?
The old lady's voice grew gentle.
Yes, my dear, I know what troubles you, and I have the answer.
With those words, a shimmer of golden light surrounded her, and before Valeria's eyes, she transformed into a graceful fairy. Her wings sparkled, and her presence felt like sunlight breaking through dark clouds.
I was sent by the fairy queen to help you.
She said. From her glowing hands appeared a shining magic stick.
With this, you can shatter the cursed jar and free your friend.
Valeria's eyes filled with hope for the first time in days. She held the stick tightly and rushed back home. The house was silent, her stepmother asleep. With quiet steps, Valeria entered the dark room where the red fairy was trapped. Her heart pounded as she raised the stick high. And with one firm strike, the glass jar cracked, then burst into light. The red fairy floated free, her wings glowing brighter than ever. Tears of joy rolled down Valeria's cheeks as she embraced her tiny friend.
You're free,
She whispered. The red fairy smiled warmly.
Thank you, Valeria. You've proven your courage and kindness. This stick, it belongs to you now. You truly deserve it.
The moment the magical jar shattered, Valeria's stepmother's eyes snapped open. She rushed into the dark room, her face twisted with rage. But before she could cast another spell, Valeria stepped forward, her hands trembling yet steady, clutching the glowing magic stick. With a wave of light, Valeria pointed it at her stepmother. The stick shone like the sun, and in an instant, the woman's black magic crumbled. Screaming in fury, she was consumed by the very fire of her own dark spells and vanished into ashes. The air grew still. The curse was broken.
You saved me and yourself. Now, I must return to fairyland. But remember, Valeria, the light of kindness will always be your greatest power.
With that, the fairy's glow rose high into the sky until she disappeared among the stars. Valeria's father soon returned home, and she told him everything. The cruelty, the magic, the truth. His heart sank with guilt, and tears filled his eyes. He hugged his daughter tightly and whispered,
"Forgive me, Valeria. I should never have left you with her. You are my only treasure."
Moral of the story: even in a world full of shadows, the real strength is not in magic or money, but in honesty, kindness, and courage.
My friends, I hope you felt the love in every effort I've poured into these stories. Your support means everything to me and this journey. Please subscribe and stay with me as we explore more beautiful stories together.